Hi, my name is Dina. I'm 28 and I have a hard time making a vision board. I know. I was never the person with a major passion for something or anything for that matter. I just went with whatever crossed my path without ever taking a moment to figure out what I really want. However, I can't ignore the urge of wanting to know what my thing is any longer. By experiencing new stuff and taking some moments to look back, I believe I'll get some clarity. Or so I hope. Follow my journey as I will be sharing my thoughts out loud, hoping we can make some sense of it as we go. A place to be all alone in this together. Welcome to my thing.
Hi there, welcome back. I don't think I'll ever get used to the fact that you actually tune in just to listen to what I have to say. But I appreciate it a lot, really. Welcome back. And if you're new, that's okay, you didn't really miss a lot, just one episode. You can pause here, go listen to the first one, and then come back. I'll be right here, white here, not right here, white here, waiting for you. Before I start this episode, I just want to wish you all a happy new year. I really hope it is a blessed year for us all with more ups than downs, with good moments with family and friends. And I don't know, let's spice it up with some traveling. We all like that. Oh my god, good health. I keep forgetting good health. I wish us all good health and that we get closer to our thing. Because damn, y'all can relate. Like, I did not expect the amount of people reaching out telling me, Dina, I'm going through the same thing. I was like, what? Really? Really? I'm not alone? Thank you. I actually got a lot of energy from you guys just reaching out, and I got overwhelmed as well. First of all, I got overwhelmed because it kind of made me sad knowing that a lot more people are going through this because I know how frustrating it can be and how lonely it can feel sometimes. So, thank you for that, you guys. I actually took all that energy and I put it in some personal stuff that I had to do. You know how I said that not knowing my thing has been blocking me in every aspect of my life? Well, I took all that energy and used it to take some steps. So I really appreciate the cheers. But I also got overwhelmed by some of the compliments. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate them all, but some of them would be about me personally as a person and not about the podcast. Like, hey Dina, that's a really good podcast. Cool, thank you. I'm talking about the compliments that are about me as a person. There is one in specific. Oh my god, you guys. It bugged me so much. It bugged me when I read it. It just didn't feel good. But it got stuck in my head for days. So, the compliment was no, wait. Before I say the compliment, if you're the person who said that, it has nothing to do with you. I swear, because I honestly don't even remember who said it to me. It's just a compliment and the kind of compliment. It's not about you, okay? So the compliment was, oh my god, Dina, you're doing your thing. What? I wish you guys could see my face right now because I'm like, what do you mean? What thing? What is my thing? Do you know what my thing is? Because I don't know what my thing is, but if you know what my thing is, can you please explain me what my thing is? Because I want to know what my thing is. Like, isn't this whole podcast about me searching my thing? What do you mean I'm doing my thing? What is my thing? You know, it was a roller coaster of thoughts and emotions, and I just had to accept the fact that it did annoy me and it was new for me because don't get me wrong, I love compliments. I'm the type of person who doesn't get awkward at all. I get hyped about it, I get smiley, and I go, thank you. But this time it's just different. And here's what I come up with this type of compliments. They create or they come with a certain label, I think. Maybe label is a too heavy word. Maybe image is a better word that that person has about you, and you fully accept and hold on to that image, and that that person always associates you with. It's okay. I think it's a normal thing and a very human thing to do. But where it gets really annoying is that it comes with no room for change. An example, when I came back from my traveling, I was a very different person. I was very loud, very present. You know, I would just spread and sparkle my energy everywhere. And I was a Leo, a very strong Leo. I don't know a lot about signs and horoscopes and I don't really follow it, but damn, I was a Leo. And if your team, well, if she's gonna talk about horoscopes, I'm gonna log off. No, I'm not going to. I'm just saying I was a real Leo. And when I came back from traveling and all that I've been through, I just changed and I was very calm and all of a sudden needed me time. That was new for me. Like I would be around people all the time. I did not need me time and I loved being around people. But I became a very calm person. I started to just like being on my own. And I wasn't the person that started the conversation anymore. And I wasn't the type of person that wanted to meet up anymore. I just preferred being in my own space. And it was really hard for friends and family to see that change in the first place. And I think then accepting it as well, that was the second step. And to not take it as a personal thing and to just give me that space. And it's been years now. And to be honest, it's not just friends and family or people that knew you, it's me accepting me as well. It's been really hard because obviously I miss that person sometimes too. And I get frustrated with myself as well. Like, Dina, snap out of it. And then I try to snap out of it. And then I try to do something. And then, you know how people talk about your social battery when it runs low? It's kind of that. I'm like doing something. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm ready to go home. So, yeah, I also realized I didn't have fun doing what I used to do. Not my thing anymore. And it's really hard to start looking for the things that you do like. So, to circle back to that compliment, it's just about maybe being scared of people creating an image about you again that you can't live up to. Something like that. It's a pressure that comes with it as well. And I literally froze and I was like, I'm not going to do that podcast anymore because I don't want people to create an image about me again. The reason, like, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate all of you, but the reason why I'm making this podcast is not for you to think that you know me. If you want to get to know me, we can grab coffee. And I don't know when, don't ask me when, because I don't know when I will be in the mood to grab coffee until that moment itself. But what I do want to do with this podcast is share my thoughts with you guys and just make us all feel less lonely and just make more sense of it all and maybe motivate each other or inspire each other. But not for you to create an image or to think that you know me, like, oh yeah, I know Dina because I've been listening to her podcast. No, you don't. That's just a part of me. And, I can imagine some people at this point being like, it's just a compliment, Dina. I do hope that you realize that it's not just about the compliment at this point. The compliment just revealed a lot about how I've been feeling, and it was just the perfect tool to like get through the layers of what I was feeling and why I was feeling a certain way about that compliment. Besides the fact that it feels like there is no room for change or to be in a different mood that day, it's also about the fear that I've mentioned and like the pressure that it comes with, but also the fact that I'm still dealing with old images that don't fit me anymore, that just don't feel right, but people still have about me. I've already talked about the biggest one, and that was the one when I came back from my traveling. But the second one, and the one that was the most damaging, and it breaks my heart, but I think especially women of color will be able to relate to. It's the one that goes, you're a strong woman. You're a boss lady. Ask Dina, she'll know what to do. She'll fix it. She will know what to do with it, basically. Don't get me wrong, I liked Boss Lady. The fact is, I liked it way too much because I would use it as fuel to just keep going when I clearly couldn't keep going anymore. And to be honest, I don't think it came from a healthy place to start. Because as far as I can remember, I've been in that mode that is ready to attack whatever crosses my path, whatever stands in my way of things that I want to accomplish. And I'm not talking about my childhood. Oh, the brown household. That's another battle. That battle did not get me into a burnout. It did get me in an identity crisis, but it did not get me in a burnout. I'm referring to the battles that came with the really nice work opportunities and projects. The amount of times that I actually had no choice but to step up and be a boss lady if I didn't want people to just walk all over me, let alone the amount of times that I had to prove myself a lot more than someone else would have to. Anyway, I'm gonna circle back because I don't think more words are necessary for me to give you for you to get the bigger picture, like where I'm heading to. But I don't wanna go there. I do not wanna get into details. I just wanted you to have some more context of the image that comes with boss lady and why I had to be that person. I can sit here on a good day and tell you, you know what, I'm letting go of boss lady, I'm saying goodbye to Leo, and I'm gonna give myself space to just be. And that would be a lie because it's so hard for me to get rid of them and to not evaluate myself to those two labels, whatever you want to call them. I don't really feel like that person anymore, but sometimes I do have a tendency to just hold on to them and like grab them because they're like my comfort zone. Because unlike not knowing who I am right now, I do know how to be a Leo or how to be a boss lady, but it's just not who I am at this point. And I think knowing that and taking my time to think about all of this explains why I felt a certain way about a certain compliment. Like I said, it wasn't about the person who said the compliment. This is just all about me and how I'm feeling. It's my thing. Pun unintended. I've noticed that I've been in a phase where I can't really say what I like or what I am or like what makes me feel good or positive or excited, but I am really aware of what annoys me, what drains me, what makes me very uncomfortable. And I can understand that that sounds really negative because at one point I hated this phase. I was like, okay, you don't like it, but what do you want? And I would be like, I don't know. I just know that I don't like this. There's one specific moment that was my breakthrough to actually see this as a positive thing. So imagine me, Dina, not that long ago, rock bottom. You know, I'm just sitting there. No, if I'm gonna be honest about this description, just imagine me looking up to see rock bottom. It's funny now, but imagine me frustrated because I don't know a lot about myself, or I feel like I don't know a lot about myself. And the only thing that I do know is the stuff that I don't like and the negative things, right? There was this one thing that I held on to, and it was chai latte. I would go to a cute coffee bar and just order myself a chai latte and read a book or just scroll on my phone. At one point, I'm drinking that chai latte and I realize I don't even like chai latte. I was so sad. I was so sad because I realized I like the smell of chai latte and I like the first sips of chai latte. You know, it's like all the spices. It's nice. But at one point, after, I don't know, two or three sips, I can't describe it. I actually just don't like it. And I realized, oh my God, this is the same story like coffee. I like everything about coffee except for the coffee itself. I like the smell, I like the coziness that comes with it. I like meeting up with friends at a coffee bar until I'm at the coffee bar and I have to order something and I realize I do not like coffee. So I take that one soda, that one pop that they have, that they overprice and you don't have a lot of choices with. That's what I would end up with. Anyway, you can imagine the drama and the heartbreak because the only thing that would give me some sense of productivity is getting outside, going to a coffee place, and the daily chai latte that I couldn't have anymore because I don't like chai latte. I was so lost, I didn't know what to do anymore. And then at one point, I just switched how I looked at it or like switched my perspective. And I went from being lost to comforting myself. I was like, hey, Dina, you don't know a lot, you know, but you do know you don't like chai latte. Look at that. I know it might sound silly, but it was really my hold on to. Like, I would comfort myself at my lowest with the sentence, I don't like chai latte. I know that I don't like chai latte. And that would really give me a sense of comfort because I started to, instead of being lost in all the negativity and the things that I don't know, I started to appreciate the stuff that I didn't know. I just started to like see it as clearing up my vision and, you know, scratching stuff from the list to make it easier and for one day to get closer to once I run out of things that I don't like, that I start knowing what I do like. Or even to use as tools to analyze why I don't like a certain thing so that I know what I do like. And that's how I can sit here today and tell you that I know one thing for sure that I like and that gets me hyped and excited. And it is, I want like some drums or something because I feel like this is a big thing. Well, it is a big thing for me, but I feel like you can. Never mind, I'll just get to it. It is Spanish. Spanish. Why did I have to say it like that? I think if you could see me now, you would see the big smile on my face and you would understand and like see the love that I have for the language. It was something that I knew back in high school, but I completely forgot about actually. I really forgot about Spanish and how it made me feel because when I arrived at Latin America, I was surprised that they spoke Spanish. I know that sounds really dumb, but I just picked Latin America because actually several reasons, but the biggest one was that I didn't learn anything about it in university. It was a completely unknown area for me. Like I didn't know much about the history and I just didn't really think about it because it was a really fast decision and I just jumped into it. So when I arrived there, I was like, oh yeah, it's Spanish here. So I dusted off the little Spanish that I knew and I tried really hard to like pick up some words. And I realized again, like, whoa, I really like this language and it makes me feel really good and like happy and positive and just overall energetic. Coming back, I completely forgot about it again. Like it was my thing that I would come back and get some courses and learn it. Obviously, I didn't do it and I just forgot about it. But here I am when I was going through all the stuff that I didn't like. Spanish came up again. So I'm really happy and hyped about this. I'm gonna put some daily effort into it and see. I'm such a hypocrite because I've known this for a week already and I've been on like a language app once. I think one time. Yeah, one time this week. So, I promise to myself and to you, I will put in the work and effort that it needs because it really makes me happy and I don't know, I like it a lot. Anyway, after a long journey of having a strong sense of only the things I don't like, I finally have one little breakthrough that I really like Spanish and I'm holding on to that one. I've also learned a lot by just a simple compliment. And again, I do not remember the person who told me the compliment. Thank you for the tool, however, because I really appreciated the compliment a lot because it forced me to think about what I was experiencing instead of just ignoring it. I'm really happy about knowing these things and being able to like point out why I'm feeling a certain way or point out why it annoyed me at the beginning. It just helps me to understand myself more and being able to just share this, like say it out loud. It makes more sense for me when I talk about it, and whenever I share it, it feels very liberating. But it's also very scary, don't get me wrong. Like whenever someone says, "Hey Dina, I've been listening to your podcast," or "Dina, I'm gonna start listening to your podcast," I'm like, why? Why are you telling me that you're listening to my podcast? Why don't you text me after? Yet when people text me after, I'm like stressed because I know like they start with, "Hey Dina, I just listened to your podcast," and then I'm like, "Oh my god, the next 5 lines that they've written is about my podcast." But honestly, I really do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, because it's like a good type of excitement. It's like a healthy way to be stressed about something. Like you're all sweaty for just a couple of seconds, and then you're like, "Oh my god, they liked it." So don't stop the compliments. Hey, it's not because I just talked a whole episode about one compliment that you have to stop complimenting me. Keep them coming. I love them. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Before you go, if I could give you anything that you can take from this episode, I would tell you to be more kind to yourself, to make more room for yourself, to be whoever you want to be. It's hard, I know. Like it's a lot about self-acceptance and self-love as well, to like give yourself that space, but also demand it from other people. Don't be afraid to speak up if you feel like people are seeing you through that image and or putting an image on you and you don't feel comfortable with it. If you need space, just ask it, talk about it. If they truly love you, they will give you that space. But you, again, give it back, you know? Let go of who you think they are and let them be and come as the person they want to be that day. Very cliche, just one foot in front of the other. That's how I want to wrap up this episode. Let me squeeze in a little side note. I just want to say that if my voice sounded a bit off here and there, I think Miss Rona is visiting us.